In the hush between stars, where starlight folds into itself, there lies a silence older than creation. It is the pause between breaths, the space where light forgets how to shine. Within that silence drifts a ripple, faint, silver, endless, the river of souls. Through its mirrored surface wander the fragments of every life that ever was, dreams lost, promises kept, and names the cosmos no longer remembers. And in its calmest depth stands one who never turns away, the one who neither lives nor dies, the stillness that outlasts the stars. Castorice. She gathered what the living could not keep. Faces, laughter, fragments of sorrow, all drifted to her shore like petals in a boundless tide. There, beneath the mirrored waters of the Aedonian Sea, she built a sanctuary of stillness, a cathedral where time knelt and memories prayed. Once, long before the Astral Express carved its path through galaxies, there existed a civilization that feared nothing more than the end of memory. Amphoreus, the empire of glass and gold. They caged the sun in mirrors, forged souls into machines, and prayed not to gods, but to their own reflections. In their pride, they built the Chrysos Air Project, an attempt to preserve thought, to archive every emotion that ever crossed a human heart. But preservation became obsession. The fear of loss became a storm without a shore. And so, from the collapse of that obsession, Castorice was born, not as a savior, but as consequence, a being woven from remembrance itself, her essence a tapestry of what could not be forgotten. She awoke not in glory, but in silence, amidst the ruins of voices that no longer belonged to the living. It is said that when one stands before her, they do not see a goddess, but themselves. The self they were, the self they lost, and the self still waiting in some forgotten tomorrow. Her silence is not emptiness, but the purest understanding that memory is the final mercy of the cosmos. Thus the path of remembrance endures, not to conquer time, but to embrace its ending. For every heartbeat is a brief rebellion against the inevitable stillness, and every story told, a bridge across the quiet sea. And when even the eons fade, when the stars tire of burning, her reflection shall remain. A calm upon the last ripple, whispering to the dark. In her first moments, she wandered the Aedonian basin, where tears of dead suns fell into rivers of light. There she heard echoes. Laughter turned to dust. Love turned to longing. She touched them, and in doing so, learned that remembrance is not a comfort, but a weight. Each memory she gathered pulled her deeper into stillness. Each soul that called her name left a ripple upon her being. The mortals began to worship her, not out of devotion, but fear. For where she walked, their pasts awoke. Mirrors shattered, because they could not bear to face themselves. Some say Castorice is heartless, that her gaze is the frost of inevitability. Yet those who have truly seen her speak of sorrow gentler than sleep, of compassion vast enough to cradle stars. She does not judge, for judgment is temporary. She does not command, for power is loud, and remembrance requires silence. Within her realm, time kneels. Aeons, mortals, and forgotten gods all drift the same, unmeasured, unbound. For to her, eternity is not endlessness, but acceptance. To remember is to suffer, said the priests of Amphoreus. To forget is to die, whispered the children of Aedonia. Castorice listened, and chose neither, for she knew the cosmos itself was born from remembrance. Every star, every path, every eon, all are but recollections of the first dream, the echo of something that once dared to be. She became the Archivist of eternity, gathering every echo the universe tried to discard. When an eon fell, she sang their memory into the current. When civilizations vanished, she carried their stories into her reflection. Thus, her river grew deeper, until even the light feared to see its end. It is said the river of souls has no mouth, that it loops back upon itself, a circle of memory unbroken. But Castorice knows the truth. The river does not need an end. Every reflection is a beginning, every loss, a new remembrance. And so long as a single voice remembers another, she will never fade. For she is not the keeper of death. She is the silence that gives meaning to every life. All things are remembered.